Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome yet again to another special edition of Sports Extra. Eid Mubarak to all of you. We're into the third day of Eid al-Fitr, of course, and once again the festivity continues for the third day. A lot of exclusive content comes your way and a lot of other things as well. I think that we will be talking about as well in detail, but the fact is that, you know, we all of us have so many things to talk about on Eid. We have different stories, different memories. So, you know, it's always interesting to know how different people have been celebrating Eid throughout and what kind of special memories have they had as well throughout the years that they've celebrated Eid. So we're going to be doing all of that. Once again, we've got, I think, a very interesting bunch of people that we will be talking about. They've been part and parcel of Sports Extra as well on your regular screens. I will be introducing them. Of course, first of all, joining us is somebody who's a cricket expert, a cricket analyst as well. He's been part of our regular programs and, of course, lives and breathes cricket. Very honored to be joined by Mr. Sabir Hussain. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak.
Walaikum assalam. Ahmed, Eid
How are
Mubarak
you,
to
sir?
you and all the viewers as well.
How are you? How's
I'm
Eid been
absolutely
so
fine.
far? The 2 days have
I've been
been
enjoying so much. I mean, it's been, the third day of Eid, so it's been a fantastic event.
certainly. Yeah, great to know that as well. Also joining us is somebody who is a first-class cricketer, who's a cricket expert on various platforms. We have always seen him. He's been part of Pakistan television as well. He's been on Sports Extra on regular occasions and talks a lot of sense about the game itself as well. He's celebrating Eid with us as well, Mr. Kashif Majid. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Walaikum salam, Ahmed. Thank you.
Eid Mubarak.
Khair Mubarak.
How's your Eid been so far? 2 days.
It's good and it's always the same, I guess, now, because for the last 4 to 5 years we are experiencing some regular routines, and now it's different because we are here with the PTV, and thank you very much for inviting. And most probably it's a different third day of the Eid for us.
Also joining us on Sports Extra, somebody who I've shared countless memories with as well. We, of course, were in college together, played a lot of sports together as well. He's been regularly on our program as well. He's also a sports expert. You know, you can talk about any sport and he will certainly ace that as well. Joining us is Mr. Ali Abbas. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak.
Walaikum Assalam, Ahmed. Eid Mubarak.
How are you?
I am good, alhamdulillah. Hope you're doing well.
I'm very well. How's Eid been for you? I guess busy with family probably?
It's been good, yeah. Busy with family, and I like the fact that the weather has been really nice.
True,
So,
I think the whole Ramadan up till
Yeah,
Eid now,
yeah.
it's been brilliant.
It's
So
been
we,
perfect.
of course, enjoy that as well. But you know, just let's get the conversation started. Sabir, what is, you know, Eid for you and your family over the years now? Of course, the next generation stepping in. How have traditions been in your family?
Obviously, I mean, it's a wonderful occasion, obviously, for everyone. I mean, because, you have to spend time with your family members. I mean, with your parents as well. Obviously, you have to have, such kind of a wonderful feeling in every time. I mean, not on, on day one, day two, but I mean, in whole Ramadan, I would say, because obviously, it's, you basically cherish every moment of the Ramadan and also Eid as well. So, I mean, you have to, meet your different relatives. I mean, because this is a particular time where when you basically, get a chance to meet your close ones, I mean, special ones as well. And obviously, it's a, a remarkable feeling, I would say. And to spend time with especially relatives, I mean, to have a wonderful foods as well, because in the month of Ramadan, you have to have some kind of luxury to lose your weight as well. But I mean, especially on Eid, you basically forgot everything.
You gain your weight back.
That's a reverse process starting now.
Absolutely, because you have to control all, 29, 30 days. But I mean, when the basically day of Eid comes, I mean, you have to have all the kind of food items as well. So, I mean, obviously, it's a wonderful feeling. For everyone,
Certainly.
yes.
But you know, the crux of it obviously boils down to the food and fitness, unfortunately. But that's how it is. But Kashif, for you, how's it been so far? I'm sure, a time to probably ease your nerves away from the busy and hectic routines of life.
When we talk about Eid, just making the comparison, the first morning actually struck me every now and then for the last 4 or 5 years. Because the first morning, actually, the day before the Eid, usually it was a team meeting for us at our home with 4 brothers and a father. And the team meeting is that who will be going to open the innings tomorrow morning, who will be the first one into the shower, and who will be the last one, because the last one has the responsibility of coming out quite early because we have to leave for the Eid prayers. So that meeting is missing in these days, and of course the early morning hassle, the shower, the Eid prayers, the dresses, and everything is now, I think it's going a different way. As you mentioned in your intro, that is the next generation is stepping in. So being the head of the family now, I've got that privilege of getting up at my time and the shower is ready for me. So this is something missing out.
You ultimately become the chairman of the selectors
Yes,
now.
chairman of the selection committee. So I've got all the privileges with me, and let's hope that this next generation catch up soon, because I want that hassle to be part of the life.
Certainly, I think that is that is the
Eid.
culture. Yeah,
That
that's
is
the
Eid.
culture as well. That's the real Eid. You know,
Yeah.
when you're rushing and no, it's time almost, I'm late, and everything in between. The hustle is also part of life as well. Ali Bas, how would you describe Eid for you and your family? Obviously, you've personally seen the evolution as well of Eid now growing up, stepping into the professional field. How would you describe it for you and your family?
Like I would consider myself younger, so the next generation amongst this panel, right?
So next question, please.
So I would say, yeah, it's like I think the fact that you can spend it with your family is a blessing in itself. And I mean, like being in Pakistan, you have some relatives who are in Pakistan, some who are in abroad. So you try to cherish as much as you can with the people who are over here, and connect as much as those who are not. So generally, I think it's like you probably, I feel that as time is passing by, and I agree with like what the fellow panelists say, that people are getting more and more involved into their own routines. So just having that opportunity to take a step back, relax, and just enjoy moments without worrying too much about work the next day, or what's going on with your business or any other activity that you might be having. So yeah, definitely try to focus on that. And I must say that the more you try to put all of that toxic routine that you have, a 9 to 5 for most of the people other than Ramazan and Eid, the better you will enjoy this.
Well, certainly, I think the whole point is the transformation that you go through as well, and how much consistent can you be with it is also part of the question. But
Ahmed,
yes.
just to add to the point, the transformation. The first day after the Eid prayers, or slightest of the gathering of the friends, it was all sports for us in our younger days. We used to play
Yeah, we were
cricket,
playing
and
on
that
Eid,
is it.
yes.
The second day was a complete sports day. But when considering all these three guys, I'm not sure about Ali. Now the second day belongs to Susral, and that is it.
No, for him as
For
well.
him,
Yeah, yes.
because he was considering himself as a younger
No,
generation.
no,
so I just
still
followed.
he's
Okay.
stepped on that milestone.
Okay, fine. Welcome, boy.
It's been 3 years, by the way.
Okay, mashallah. Welcome. So that second day, actually, it's a lost cause for us now. So we have lost the second day, and most probably we'll gain it somewhere.
Yes,
actually.
absolutely. I think that's been described as the annual day. Annual day. So it's been described. But Sabir, interestingly, once you remember your extended family back home in your younger days, what used to be the culture when you on the first day, second day, third day? Obviously, you went into the third day now. But what was it like on the first day with extended cousins and extended family? Were you going there? Were they coming? Was there a grand gathering with lots of food? What was the culture like back
Look,
then?
I mean, I basically belong to Larkanas, and we have a different culture as well. Everybody basically, every culture has basically gathering and gatherings. But I mean, we basically plan before Eid. I mean, what we have to do, where we have to go. Not only the relatives, basically houses. There are some kind of sports in Sindh where you have to go, along with your cousins, with your friends as well, with school, college friends as well, for a couple of hours. I mean, and then on second or third day, then you have to have some kind of time to spend with your family as well. But I mean, one thing I really remember when basically we were child, we used to go with our father to buy some clothes as well. So, but this particular time when basically we are having kids, I mean, so we are basically recollecting all the memories. I mean, so obviously it's a wonderful feeling for everyone. I mean, being a parent, especially, you have to remember everything. When basically you as a child used to go with your father, for the Eid prayers as well. So you have to have a time out situation as well. So I mean, obviously it's a wonderful feeling, and again. To have such kind of a parents, I mean, it's a wonderful blessing, I would say. To basically go in a market, and especially deal with your children as far as Eid money is concerned, pocket money is concerned. So everything basically, you have to basically cherish every moment. I mean, not on day 1, day 2, and also day 3 as well.
Certainly. I think the best part of it is that, these memories still live on. And I think the crux is that you need to, once you're stepping into parenthood, you need to remember the things which you were said no to. How are you going to say no to your children now? That becomes a trade secret as well of parenting. But I think automatically everybody gets there. But Kashif, once we remember, obviously now times have changed. Those gatherings are becoming limited. A lot lot of people, are far off, and mostly people like to connect with social media. There's another culture that is haunting us right now in this new generation, is to sleep throughout Eid day, which we could never do. Like you mentioned, that our parents were scolding us for destroying our Eid clothes while playing.
Yeah.
Okay, because this generation is so much busy to find out what they want to do in their life. They want to actually have daydreams just to find out the purpose of life for them. And for them, it's no. You talk about, and I still believe, connecting that question of yours, I still remember those days watching PTV on Eid day, and there's always a show with celebrities in it, hosted by Umar Sharif or Moin Akhtar and so many legends. And there is always a question: what have you done? What did you do on your Eid day? And those celebrities come out with this answer: I used to sleep because it's a complete year of hard work for me, and I take some time out to sleep on Eid day. And I always thought, how it's possible? And this new generation made it possible for us, because they've done nothing the whole complete year, and they think themselves that they have done something extraordinary, so they want to take some time out and sleep. For us, it's always been sports, it's always been friends and the family and the gatherings. And we planned that Eid day, I guess months ago, because it's a continuous planning of every minute and every minute detail, starting from that early morning shower to that.
No, we're still excited about
Yes,
it, even now.
and
Yes.
I still believe Chand Raat, it's only meant to plan for the eating. Just recently, I got to know that the Bharat and the Walima is just not anywhere existing in the wedding. It's only the Mehndi now. For us, it's only the Chand Raat, the next generation, and there is no Eid day for them, or second day or third day. Even I'm as excited as the day one is sitting in third day, that I still want that Eid to prolong, because it's so much fun. I still believe it's so much fun for me. And Saber is like quite right. Stepping into the father's shoes, I still believe. Just cut down that inflation part. And
We're gonna come to the financial aspects of it as well.
The moment Saber was answering question, I was just looking at him. Just before the start of the show, we were continuously talking about the inflation. The clothes of the kids are getting quite expensive and everything. The moment camera on, it's take. Saber was so much into his giving money
Sophisticated.
to the kids. Yes, he was so much.
Ahmed, basically, children they argue with you. If you have sons and daughters, and they basically argue with you that if you are giving such kind of amount to him, I mean, why don't I should get,
But create a
such kind of
policy of,
amount?
the eldest gets the most, and
Absolutely, I mean,
something
they are
like
not
that.
worried about as far as the age is concerned, but they are basically concerned about.
But the
their,
tradition is alive, even on Sports Extra, because you're the eldest amongst all of us.
Oh, definitely,
We're keeping the
definitely.
tradition still alive. Ali, you probably cannot dodge away from certain arguments, because I've seen the best of you in college. So I know you that he won't do that switch when the camera turns on. I know all his secrets. But the fact is, I do believe that, for us, particularly for me and you, we get to have the bragging rights, because even in our college, we were the last generation that made that college, a very swag place to be in. But we understand now what's happened. But, how would you relate to that? Because obviously when we see the next generation, mostly they don't like socializing with family, of course. Unknown people they'll be happy with. And mostly what they do is, stay confined to their own rooms as well.
On each day, me and my cousins, we do get together and we play cricket still. Like every year we do that. One tip, because
We've played on tennis courts, you
Yeah, we
remember?
just clear out the sports. Come up with all strange rules as you can find.
Even Babar Azam couldn't survive.
No one can survive over there.
That is
and
the most difficult
and,
part.
like there are certain people in your family, as you obviously as they grow up, that they have difficulties interacting with everyone around you. But I think like Ashab did mention sports, and he's right. The thing about sports on Eid day is that even those people who are like a little shy will bring themselves out. They'll get involved, they'll have fun. It's something that everyone gets to enjoy. You don't necessarily have to play cricket. You can maybe even play a board game. All of the cousins can get together. You can play a board game, right? So we still play cricket, and I do feel like, and definitely when we don't, it feels like something is missing. Yeah, I'm known to be someone who gets a little too emotional in the game because I'm competitive.
I
right?
would know.
Yeah.
It's not the emotional. The word actual, the word is rondu. So let's come to that point. There is no word
A lot of
emotional
people in my
here.
family will agree with you. I'm glad they're not here, but they might. So that's the thing, right? And the fact that everyone can just come together, I think also someone in the family, someone who's slightly senior, needs to take more initiatives because the younger lot who we expect to take the initiatives will not be doing that now.
Absolutely.
So people like maybe you, me, or anyone amongst the panelists, they have to come over there, convince people that this is going to be fun, tolerate the 10 to 15 minutes when those people are difficult, not being involved, and then you see that everyone just starts off. So
Absolutely.
there are ways to it now. It's not easy as it was before, but like you have to work harder than probably what we had to do 5-6 years ago.
I always keep on telling people that we're probably going to be the last generation who was breaking windows by playing, so breaking lights, windows, car lights and windows. Now it's not happening anymore because you hardly see anyone outside. So I think times have certainly changed as well. But like I said, that we're from the generation. I still remember me and Ali Abbas and our bunch of guys, from first year D.
Emma,
as
do you
we
want
used
to stay
call
in
it.
PTV or not?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm
Then
telling you,
let's leave it right here.
the first year D was we were playing cricket on tennis courts, and when two bunch of people who actually wanted to play tennis were asking us, this is our court, we were telling them off, buzz off, we're playing cricket.
I want
so
to know
we've
the
done
college.
Fazaiya,
Oh,
Pakistan
Fazaiya.
Air Force
Okay,
College
okay,
E9.
okay.
So, a very infamous bunch of boys
yes.
we were. So you would probably, understand why I'm saying that. Since you're working with the younger generation,
Yes.
I doubt you'll find anyone as witty as we were in this generation. So I think that
Witty
is
for
certainly
some,
there.
dangerous for others. But
But certainly we had characters, trust me, when we talk about our bunch of guys. Sabir, let's get to your most important part of that financial aspect. Eid is just not a tradition when you talk about Eid. It is a very sacred something that, like Kashif mentioned, you're planning for Eid. The most important planning is identifying targets from
yes.
where you're going to achieve your ultimate goal of securing the most Eid as well.
Look, I mean, obviously we have to, we basically used to plan. I mean, obviously generations basically nowadays, they have basically changed, their mindsets basically are changed. But in our time, basically, we used to, plan accordingly where we have to go, where we have to spend, time and also money as well. And at that particular time, we were basically thinking from whom we have to get amount, such kind of amount. Obviously, you have, a grandfather, uncles as well,
Some overseas relative visiting.
obviously overseas relatives as well, but I mean, yes, deliberately we basically used to go to relatives house. I mean, why? Because the objective was, only one. I mean, we basically, had to get some kind of amount. I mean, yes, I mean, that particular time. But another thing, Ahmed, that as far as, the young boys were concerned, we basically used to arrange some cricket tournaments. I mean, because on Eid days, most of, people had some kind of, time. They have to basically play some such kind of tournaments, some 3 to 4 days tournaments. I mean, from different countries, from different cities, I would say, because in villages, I mean, in the villages of Sindh, I mean, different cities, had to send their basically cricketers to play such kind of tournaments. I mean, they have to spend some kind of amount as well. So, but nowadays, basically, things have been changed. I mean, generation, they have different mindset. I mean, they don't want to go, outside. Obviously, they have to sleep all the day. I mean, because you have to cherish these moments. I mean, obviously, another thing that we used to spend such kind of a precious time with our elders. I mean, because you basically do not get such kind of a time every day. But Eid is the occasion where you basically get a chance to meet your some close ones, especially the elder ones as well, where you have to get some kind of information as far as your future is concerned, your education plan is concerned. So these are the basically moments, I mean, when we used to enjoy. But nowadays, I mean, you always mentioned things have been changed.
Well, Kashif, what was the trade secret of trying to secure the most amount on Eid? Was it, telling a relative against another relative that, his amount was higher than you, so you something like that? What
It's
was?
always the historical data along with the statistical data, because the history says the last time we accidentally gone to some of the relatives and eventually got some good amount of money. So next time we have to convince our parents that we definitely want to visit that house again. So
That's a favorite house.
Yeah, because uncle and auntie is so good to us, and
favorite away ground.
favorite away venue for us. So most probably that is the historical data. And when we talk about the statistical data, there is always our parent who always thought that while we are going to a house, we have to spend that much of amount in terms of Eid. How much our
Yes.
our kids will get in return? So that is the
So that
statistical data.
ultimately belongs to them.
Oh, of course, yes. Because and they know for the fact that we have given like 500 and you got in return 600. So the total amount you got is actually 100 rupees because the 5 was in return. So all those little emotional attachments. Now we are again. Am I sounding so much buzurg right
No,
now?
not at
Okay,
all.
fine,
Not
thank
at
you.
all.
So stepping on those shoes, I still believe the most important part is to convince your kids to be as young as possible, because
And to ourselves as well.
yes, and don't try to be over smart or the word swag for them. They have learned nothing because life is full of experiences. The experiences they are getting through social media is irrelevant to most probably their 80% of the life they are spending. So ask them to spend a real life and ask them to relive all those
But
cherished
Kashif,
moments.
we have an advantage, I think, as parents as well, because we've seen both of those worlds, right? Before that, social media
Sorry,
and with
this is a
social media.
disadvantage to our kids.
The two are kids, yes. But, that's the real part of it, that they can't take us for a ride,
Oh,
because we
yes.
know
Oh,
both the worlds right now.
But unfortunately, being in an educational institution, I still believe we are also that generation who got hit by their parents and hit by their children too. So the parents, in a real sense, there's always a slab coming for us. The next to any second question, and when it comes to our kids, they think they know much more than us, apart from any real life experience, because all they know is theory. We have done the practicals. All they know, the jokes, all the things in theoretical manner. We are the ones, like you said, that 11D part, that you have done all those things in a very practical sense of it. And we, all those science student, knows what it meant to be in a practical lab of physics, bio or chemistry. It's all fun and no education.
Absolutely. I mean, the institution was terrorized so much that once we moved on to 11th to 12th grade, they actually made, they renamed the section from D to B, thinking that they would make a difference, but it didn't, because, that was imprinted
The
on our
core
hearts.
team remains the
so
same.
the core structure, grassroots levels remained the same as well. But Ali Bas, we come to a very pertinent question on the show, which is always a culture on Sports Extras Eid shows, that all of us have memories that we cherish, but one is always our favorite Eid and one is the most terrifying experience that we remember. So in both cases, what has been your fondest memory of Eid and one that you would like to erase from the history books as well?
That's I definitely think that the fondest memories would always be like when all of us cousins were together, right? And just meeting together at our Nano's house. That was her tradition, right? Because she would just allow us to do whatever we wanted to do. She was very patient, right, with all of us. So, and I guess, like, honestly, I don't think there's anyone that I would like to erase from my memory. I do feel that there are different. Maybe there is one, but I just don't remember right now. But yeah, the fondest memory that I have of the recent Eids is when we cousins were able to play more sports.
Oh, yes.
Because that is when all of the banter comes out, all of the competitive, like you mentioned, all of the
Rondo
also
parts, yes.
comes out as well. Yeah, but I would like to mention something regarding Eid, that I'm surprised when you were kids you got Eid, because all of my relatives Eids would go to my mother.
Oh,
Right.
sad.
So I didn't really have a huge chunk of Eid. There were exchanges going on amongst the elders in the
yes.
family. We were just commodities on the basis of whom there were trades being made. So, but nowadays I think I just try to. And my goal is to have a net amount in positive after giving Eid and receiving Eid, and if there's a balance over there, I'm happy. If I manage to save up some money, I'm happy as well. And if I end up losing some money, having to give more and receive less, that is the point when I start to consider things. So yeah, I have memories of getting Eid when I was a kid, but I do know that a major chunk was in my mother's hand, and then she decided what she had to do with it at the right moment, which I'm sure would have been the right
You know,
decision.
with extended siblings, it has always come to a point where collectively it has been distributed, no matter how much you were able to secure.
Yeah.
But in every family, there's always that one individual who's so cunning that he will even get Eid from one such relative who has never given Eid in his life, and that would be such a trade secret that you'd know about it even after the 3 days of Eid as well. So that is true.
particular guy ends up in sales.
Yes. So
Because he know how to convince that particular person who is who haven't come up with any Eid. But that having said that, I just came out with Ali's example. We have to now balance our balance sheet in terms of Eid, being a parent, and it's a hard part because it's just not easy. But I still believe the tradition has to remain alive. It has to. With all those things happening around us, I still believe that we have to be someone who follow the traditions, because this is where life is, and we want to live a quality life.
But I was coming to a point where I was going to convince Ali Abbas that that doesn't give you the right to hold, the financial powers of Eid of your future generations.
Yes.
That right that still stays with your, parents. They could do that. We won't
It all
be able to
depends
do
on
that
the
as well.
balance sheet. Like if the net amount is positive, we can work something out. But
Yes.
if there's negative, then we have to resort to other measures.
Yeah, but then again, you have to be the one who's going to secure the difference as well.
Yeah,
That's also
exactly.
interesting. Your fondest memory, and one thing that you probably mentioned that is terrific, probably terrifying, that you want to forget.
The most fondest is the amount of Eid I got on that particular Eid, maybe.
And terrifying, the one you didn't get.
So the most fondest is when I talk about my childhood. The most fondest is the most brightest day of the Eid, playing sports, most probably cricket, with my friends and brothers and all those cousins. And most terrifying will be that rainy Eid day where we couldn't get
Couldn't
to
go
play,
outside.
and that is the most terrifying Eid for us, because when it rains on those days and with no internet, and thanks to PT, they were there to spend a day, but when it's rain and there is no activity in the Eid, so that was the most terrifying Eid for us.
Or certainly, a Pakistan team match on Eid day as
Oh,
well. I
yes.
think that,
Yes,
that
yes,
would
yes.
be
I
the
still
cherry on
remember
top.
99
Yes.
Pakistan versus India second day.
1997 try.
There was
Pakistan was playing in India. Pakistan, India, and Sri Lanka. Pakistan basically won, and that particular
I
day
remember
against
that
India.
Pakistan India in Australia.
that was one
Right.
which took place early morning, and there was another match on Eid where Salman Butt got 100.
Platinum
some
Jubilee match, I guess.
Jubilee
Platinum
match.
Jubilee.
Yeah. So,
So,
those were very fond
so
memories.
interesting memories that we connect, but Sabir has got the most history since his financial numbers are
And
good.
another thing, basically, siblings basically used to get, the clothes of same color. If you are 3-4
Oh,
brothers,
yes.
your father basically they used to buy basically clothes of same color. So all the brothers, siblings basically on Eid day,
So you
they have
and
to have same color.
Javed bhai were of the same dresses every year.
Same color, because father has to decide which color, and if you are 2, 3, 4 brothers, even cousins, if you're living in the same house, so when you have 4 to 5, 6 boys, everybody has to
the
have
same
same
color.
kind of a
Oh,
So
color.
the locality would recognize these are the Kalodo brothers
Oh,
going
yes.
right now. So probably that would be but I think that's a very smart way to balance
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out. Nobody can then complain now. So you've just completed the argument then and then. But Sabir, any memory that you think haunts you till they say that oh my goodness, this was an embarrassing Eid, I probably want to forget it, and what's the best one that you can think of?
Look, a couple of years ago, I basically, we used to go to our village where we basically used to celebrate our Eid. And my basically cousin was, kidnapped on that particular day,
On Eid day.
on Eid day. And he was, same age, like, we used to have, similar kind of age, but on those basically 2-3 days were terrible. For all of us. Obviously for my family, for my cousin's family as well. So I basically do not want to remember that particular day. Because I was having 11 to 12 years of age at that particular time. Whenever basically I remember those days, I don't want to
So which is
recollect
the
all
best
memories.
one on the other
The
end?
best one, obviously, on Eid day, Pakistan sports, as a sports, lover, cricket lover, Pakistan, winning against India, in India, in 1997, 1998 triangular series. I still remember that particular match. Saeed Anwar was playing, Wasim Akram's reverse swing as well. Rahul Dravid, by the way, and he basically, was bowling at that particular time as well. Sabah Karim, the wicket keeper, I basically remember all the, players. So yes, having a fun on Eid days especially if you are a sports lover. And another emotional thing I would say, basically nowadays we basically realize, being a parent, how basically our parents basically they used to buy new clothes, new shoes for us. But they basically did not want to have some such kind of a new things for them. So they always want to spend such kind of amount on their children. So nowadays we are basically realizing such kind of a things, being a parent basically. So same things basically we are basically doing for our children. We are just focusing that our children basically get new kind of things for them, that we basically want to make them happy. So we basically we're not bothered as far as our clothes are concerned, shoes, some other things are concerned. So this basically shows how basically parents they spend such kind of amount on us. So this is the kind of really emotional kind of a thing. But this basically life goes.
Well, certainly, life doesn't stop, obviously, and you grow into each and every role, I think. But that's very true that now, once you become a parent, you realize the sacrifices that your parents have gone through as well, and that, gives you a new form of respect for them as well. And now you understand all the rights and wrongs which they put you through as well. So it definitely becomes interesting as well. But a professional sportsman yourself, Kashif, as you mentioned, obviously, once we're young, we can play all day we want, and things are there. But then once you turn into a professional first-class cricketer particularly, how do things become different? Because obviously throughout that busy routine, it becomes that one time where you can be with family. You're either on tours if you're playing first class, or you have back-to-back games as well. But at the same time, you have an extended family, which is your first-class team as well. They also share the dressing room with you, and a lot of memories as well.
Yeah, I still remember when we are growing up, Eid, there is always a 10 days gap, So it was 2007-8 when we were just about to enter the first class arena. That particular Eid came in between first class season, and most probably those were the days when we were having camp in Ramadan. And it's just not easy these days, but being a professional, we done quite brilliantly. And that Eid, I still remember, there is 2 days off, and that is in the third day. We are sitting in the third day, and third day was again the practice session. And the first thing we do was to celebrate with our friends, with our teammates. And this is one Eid I spent with that professional gathering of mine. But it was good, and again we called them the extended family too, because when we spent 4 to 5 months together in a first class season in Pakistan, the friends become more of a family, and we share our secrets with them, and eventually they are more friends come brothers come family like a relation. And it's important to have those guys around you, and it's important to have those guys who know you yourself as a human being and as a professional cricketer too.
That's very important. I mean, once you step into the professional field, you've got colleagues as well who become your work family, and obviously there's a bond of respect with them as well. So obviously there are so many memories that you can cherish with them as well, and that becomes very, very special. Alibas, how would you relate to this? Your colleagues or part of your friends becoming your extended family.
But I agree, like people who you hang out with at work, you spend more time with them than you do with your family. Obviously, my experiences would not be similar to what Kashif just mentioned, because of him being on tour, and obviously there were times, I'm sure, where he had to, because of his particular commitment, he had to be away on Eid. I've been lucky to not experience anything, but generally yes, there is something in you which makes you miss your co-workers when you're away on Eid in a weird way. So the experiences are a little bit different, but I do agree that once you spend maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of a day with your colleagues and 3 to 4 hours with your family, the active hours with your family, there's something that you develop with your co-workers. There are relationships that you have over there which are obviously nice, which are long lasting, which are lifetime as well. So, and like I said, these things, they do develop into something which are a bit more divine in nature.
Does that also include your supervisor, manager, or your boss, or just limited to your colleagues?
I would say it depends on the boss that you I have worked in 4 to 5 different firms, and I cannot say that for all my bosses.
But I'm sure they can say that about you, since he's had 4 different bosses.
4 different bosses, yeah. So and now me being a boss right now, I don't know exactly how they feel about me, but I would say
the same.
Yeah, hopefully. If you really like your boss, boss, then your boss is either doing something wrong or you're doing something wrong.
Or you're in the wrong place.
Or you're in the wrong place.
Probably. That is, one thing that is very interesting as well. But Sabir, it's always good to know that, wherever you're working or your business or whatever, you've got extended people. It's not just only wishing them through social media that Eid Mubarak, but some of them you really connect to.
Absolutely, there are basically, a couple of persons which are very important to you, in your life as well. Because if you are, more than important to you, then you have to, visit their places to, to wish them. And there are basically, I basically personally used to have, couple of good friends. I would say, other than the relatives. So obviously, if you have, school friends since childhood, from nursery to matric, then first year enter, obviously from 14 years. If somebody who is basically with you, he's very obviously close to you. So obviously you would love to meet him rather than sending him or her message, or just calling him just as a formality. So I basically used to visit their place, to meet them, to spend the time, couple of hours with him, or with a couple of friends with them as well. So, but nowadays, things have been changed again. I would say, social media. You basically are sending even the marriage. Cards basically are being sent through WhatsApp messages as well. But in our time, we used to have a mutual respect as well, because obviously, if you are not visiting their places, meeting them as well, so the things could have been different at that particular time. But nowadays, people would like to stay away from to going someone's place. Obviously nowadays everybody is believing as far as the privacy is concerned. So obviously the times basically, again, I would say, have been changed. But in our time, I basically used to visit a couple of in my friends' place as well. More close to me. More than the relatives, I would say. There are a couple of people in your life basically which are very close to you, with whom you can share everything with them. Like we have brothers, cousins as well. But there are a couple of persons. I basically personally have 2 to 3 with them. I have been sharing everything. If you are friends since last 32 years, so obviously you would like to, you would love to share everything with them.
Absolutely. That bond of respect and
Yes.
understanding goes a long way as well. And then you connect with each other's families as well. It even gets more special. But now, of course, coming to the close of the show brings us to the most, I think, wanted, Sabir's expression say it all, the most wanted part of the show as well. And this is where we get an opportunity that our guests can win something very exciting. Or you can see this fantastic gift hamper, courtesy of Serena Hotels, which of course includes a fantastic piece of crockery for your daily caffeine needs as well. And it also includes a special exclusive voucher for a Sunday brunch for 2 people at Zamana Restaurant. And trust me, it's the best brunch you can get your hands on.
I just got to know that's $100,000 value. No? Okay, fine.
Well, I guess even worth more than that for some people. So the rules of the game are very simple. I ask you a question each. If you answer, you get 1 point. The person who gets the first point, obviously, and the others don't, will obviously win the voucher and the gift hamper that I just talked
And
about.
Sabir is not part of this game.
Look, if I lose, we are a family. He can give me.
But he can take only one person, so it's either you or Ali Abbas. So he still has to decide. And it's going to be very, very interesting. So Sabir, you have the first question. What has to be broken before you can use it? You need to break it so you can use it.
I have to break it.
So you can use it. Not allowed.
Man, I can get 0.50%.
No, you can have that question if he doesn't, yes. Pass the question.
Coconut.
Coconut.
I have to break it before you use.
Before you use it. He gets the answer right as well. The answer is both a coconut and an egg. Congratulations to Kashim Majid. Ali Abbas automatically.
No, my question.
No, that's 1 point for you so far. But Ali Abbas gets the next turn as well. Okay, so what is always in front of you but can never be seen?
Always in front of you?
But can never be seen.
Producer of this program.
Smart answer. I'm not going to deduct his point.
Can
but
it be seen by me or anyone?
anyone. Well, it's always in front of you, but you can never see it.
The future.
That's the correct answer. So Ali Abbas and Kashif Majid
So we can
tied
share
at 1-1.
Yeah.
So automatically.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Sabir, thank you very much for coming on the show. Allah Hafiz.
So, you know, interestingly, both of them end up on a super over, probably.
Just help me. I guess we both are married.
Yeah.
We can share that brunch with each other.
Yeah,
Or
but
let our
like a
wives
team
go and
Oh,
we can-
oh yeah,
and we can stay at home.
Okay, so because, you know, we're short on time as well, we've got to wrap it up. So, next question that we go to is very simple. It is full of holes, but it can still hold water.
A sponge?
It wasn't your question.
Sorry. I thought super over anyone.
So that was my answer.
Yeah.
And now you can ask question from Ali.
Okay, I'll just, you know, change the question, but you both get a question each. So we,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
give
No, that's fair.
give
I-
both of you a free hit.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah. So what goes up but never comes down?
Shahid Afridi 6.
He wishes no, the answer is your age. So Ali Abbas, if you get this one, you know, it's all yours. What gets wet while you're drying it? Right, since you know, time is up, so but he tried his best. A towel basically gets dry, you know, while you're drying it, it gets more wet as well. A towel question
I
it was.
thought-
But Kashif Majid, congratulations to you, I think, for once again being the player of this game, as he's won many accolades as well. But gentlemen, all three of you, thank you very much for being on the show. Eid Mubarak once again to you and your families. Especially to all of you, thank you very much for staying tuned to our special programming on Eid. We've brought you this exclusive content from me and the entire team and my guest panel as well on 1, 2, 3. Eid Mubarak to all of you, and it's goodbye.